Welcome. It's we back, kind of me back. No iceberg pimping tonight, just JB Smooth. Covered the Cavs versus the Magic game tonight, and man, I love blowouts. I love them. Blowouts make my job so much easier, and that's what the Cavs did. They made my life very, very easy. Um, they really jumped on them from the beginning of the game. Like it was like 17-12, and they jumped out to a 19-point lead. They went on like a what was it, 13-6? Hold on, I'll tell you exactly. They went on a because we're just gonna pull it up on this recap right here that you can find on 92.3 The Fan, written by yours truly. Oh, I didn't put it in the recap. Damn, why didn't I do that? All right, let's just do some math. They went on a 21 to 6 run when it was set from 17 to 12 point from the 6:34 mark of the first quarter. And I mean, from that point, it really won the game. Like the Cavs really, this was a game, in my opinion, where you got to beat a team that you're supposed to beat. You ain't even supposed to leave no doubt. You were just supposed to go ahead and take care of business and make it an easy night, especially with it being the first game of a back to back. You're going to play the Milwaukee Bucks, who they have some issues right now. They got some issues. But yeah, so I mean, after the first quarter, the game I want to say was fairly in control and over. The Magic really never got any closer than 10 in the third quarter, and then every time the Magic would make a run, put something together, the Cavs would answer back timely shots. And one thing that Atkinson said in the pregame press conference, and I'll pull up the quote here for you, because he was asked about the team's defensive identity still holding intact. And he was just real transparent. He was like, it's what they want. You know what I mean? Like, it's as much as I put on them to not change what they did well, but he makes it sound like they've taken the ownership over the fact that in previous years, we've been a defensive team. So we're not just going to abandon that today and let that go. So that was real nice. And the one thing that I think they've struggled with against certain teams, and they struggled against this against with this against the Magic in the playoffs. They sometimes struggle to keep teams off the glass. In the first half, they only allowed one offensive rebound. I mean, that's really good. The Cavs only had three, but you out rebounded them in total 24-14, and they only had one offensive rebound. So you're not letting them get second chance points. You grabbing offensive rebounds, which isn't just allowing them to get out and run in transition. At halftime, the Cavs were leading in fast break points 14-11. I mean, the Cavs are really able to do whatever they want. And the fact that they were missing their best player, Paulo Banchero, like I said, this was a game you were supposed to win. You're supposed to go out there and just take care of business, get them out the way. And I held the mindset of if they are who they've been saying they are in these post-game press conferences and media availability, this is a game where you can show all the things that you've been saying. It don't just have to be we talking about it. We're going to go actually out here and show it. We're going to show the consistency. We're going to show that we can do these things for 4 quarters at a time. We're not going to take breaks. We're not going to take periods off. And this was a game I feel like they did that. I feel like this was a very solid game against a team that they fought hard. Like into the fourth quarter, they didn't give up. Like halfway through the fourth quarter, I was in the mindset if they can get it down to 15, about 5 minutes to go, it could get interesting. But Cavs went ahead and made some more timely shots, got it back up to 20, and then the game was over. They pulled their starters, Luke Travers. Who else got in the game that usually don't play? That was really it. Tristan Thompson got 3 minutes, 4 minutes, but that was really it. It was just Luke Travers. And he got his first bucket of the season. That was pretty cool. It was pretty cool to see the ESPN Australia guy in the locker room covering the game. So I'm pretty sure that was pretty cool for Luke Travers to experience. You know what I'm saying? Being able to talk to somebody who kind of understands your experience and where you're from. So I thought that was pretty cool. Again, the Cavs 120 to 109. They take care of the Orlando Magic. One thing that was interesting during post game, I can't play it here because I don't have it. But actually, let me see if I can pull this up. Um, Darius Garland was asked in the post game about the rivalry between him and Jalen Suggs, and he didn't like that question at all. Like, let me see if I can pull up the video and cue this up because he was upset. Like he's accusing us as the media of gassing it up, and that it's really not a rivalry. He congratulated him that he got paid, he got his money, but he was not. I repeat, he was not happy at the fact that uh, he was asked this question. And as he left the locker room, he let it be very, very known his feelings on how he felt about Jalen Suggs. Let's see if we can play this.
So I'm trying to get Don to start running to the corners a little bit. So he started getting some open tray balls, and so he can even out a little bit more. But yeah, I'm gonna keep sprinting. Emphasis on the sprint for sure. Kenny's been on my butt about it, so I'm gonna keep doing it.
How much more beneficial has it been to move the ball with the pass instead of with the dribble for this team overall?
That's been pretty good. Ball has.
That's not it. Hold on. Let me see. We're gonna try to find it.
Yeah, I think it is, bro. I think it is. Y'all saw the end of the Knicks game?
What you doing?
That's off season. Do you feel like that helped you out in that matchup a little bit more this year?
Yeah, I don't think it's a rivalry.
There you go. Hold on. So here, let me catch the question. The question here is from Ethan Sands from Cleveland.com. Shout out to Big Ethan. He asked the question of, do you think it's a rivalry in the fact that he put on some pounds in the summer? And then this is what Darius Garland had to say.
And, we really appreciate it, and we're going to need him all year.
Last year, we talked a little bit about your rivalry, your friendly rivalry with Jalen Suggs. You put on more weight, some strength this past off season. Do you feel like that helped you out in that matchup a little bit more this year?
Yeah, I don't think it's a rivalry. Y'all gassed it. Yeah, so I don't think it's a rivalry, but he's a great player. Congratulations to him. He got paid this summer, and he's going to only get better. So I don't want to say the rivalry. Let's just keep it going.
You a shot blocker now?
No.
So that's what you heard Darius Garland had to say. He said it's not a rivalry. We gassed it up. He's happy old boy got paid and got his money. He called him a great player, which I don't know if Jalen Suggs is a great player. Now, I mean, he had a great game tonight. He had 28, 8, 7 assists, 3 steals, and a block. He did have 3 turnovers. He shot 50% from the field. He was only 1 for 7 from 3-point line, 7 of 8 from the free throw. I didn't realize it was 50%. I knew he was making a lot of shots, but 50%. He had a really good game. Like I could really see. I really would have liked to see what this game would have looked like if Paolo was out on the floor. I think that would have been the challenge that, at least for early in the season, to see where you stand as far as matching up against a team that gave you a good run for your money in the playoffs. And Paolo just had 50 points the other night. Granted, he only had like 13 points in the second half, but still, 50 is 50. Like you can't, no matter what your beef is, you can't hate on getting 50 points. Like you just sound kind of crazy. But yeah, so I mean, we're gonna have to wait again until they play again to see that matchup. But again, good game. They took care of business, and once again, this was a game that I think you should have taken care of. You don't let this get out of control. You don't let them feel like they have a chance. And the Magic fight, like they got players like Kentavious Caldwell Pope, the Wagner brothers. I like Franz Wagner. I think Franz Wagner is a baller. I think that dude got game, straight up. Like I was talking to Bob Fernand in the media section, and he was sharing his thoughts, And I don't necessarily agree with Bob, but I can understand where that the knock that he was given against him. So we're gonna have to wait until February, December, January. So that's 3 months. Paulo may be back. He's got the oblique injury. He's out indefinitely. He'll be reevaluated in 4 to 6 weeks. 4 to 6 weeks puts him back. That if he comes back on, if he's okay on the early side of that, he may make it back for when they play again in February on the 25th. I believe it's like right after the All-Star break. So that'll be a good litmus. And then we play them only 3 times this year. We play them again in March on the 16th. So we'll see what that looks like if Paulo is back. And the Cavs are 6-0. They are rolling on the best record in the East, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm not mistaken, they have the best record in the entire league. Let's take a peek. Absolutely. Only 2 teams are undefeated, them and the Thunder. The Thunder are 4-0. So we play 2 more games. The Suns are 4-1. The Warriors are 4-1. The Celtics are 5-1. They only lost to the Pacers earlier this week. And the Cavs are 6-0. The Cavs, they look good. They look really, really good. And Evan Mobley. Evan Mobley's stats aren't always going to wow you. Like tonight, he had 14 points, 12 rebounds, 1 block, 1 steal, 3 assists. He took 3 shots from the 3-point line. He made 1 of them. But the thing that I think that we should focus on when looking at Evan Mobley is the fact that he looks aggressive. He looks assertive. Like there were multiple times where he got the ball and he could have looked for a pass. Then there might have been a guy open or cutting, but he made a decisive move, bounce, turn, bump, initiating contact. He has this move. I can't think on who I've seen do it first, but this move where he just puts the ball right up here and just throws it off the glass. It's almost like Tim Duncan like. I think that's probably who I'm thinking of is Tim Duncan. That's who I think that shot looks like, where he's just one hand, boom, over your head, off the glass. There's nothing you can do. So I think this is the year he makes the leap, but I'm not sure if the stats are going to always bear out in his favor. But he had a really good game. He had a really good game as well. So again, Cavs win 120-109. They now improved to 6-0. They'll go to Milwaukee tomorrow to face the Bucks. The Bucks are struggling. They are 1-4. They lost to the Grizzlies the other night, and I watched a recap of that game. And yeah, the Bucks just look like they're struggling. And I'm not a fan of the pairing of Giannis and Dame. I get how it should work. It should pan out. It should be a great combination, but I'm not so sure that's gonna work out. And I even thought that in the summer, because Dame didn't originally want to go to Milwaukee, that they may have opted to move him out, but he's still there. Middleton is injured, and I mean, if you look at their roster, I can't even think of like who you would be able to trade to try to even make some improvements on the fringes, just because of how the salaries are. Because nobody's trading for Chris Middleton, not with them bum knees, and he's 33. Damn. Oh yeah, 33 with bad knees. Yeah, that's a wrap. That's a wrap. You got Torian Prince, Liam Robbins, Ryan Rollins, Tyler Smith, Gary Trent Jr. But them people don't make no money. That'd be the other thing too. Like we're coming up with NBA trades. Like you gotta have money. Some of these dudes gotta make money to be able to go get somebody else that's worth anything. Chris Livingston is only making 1.8. Who's going to trade for Brook Lopez? And they can't afford to trade Brook Lopez. So, I mean, that's out. Like all the guys you could really look to trade, they kind of like heavyweight need. Like you could think about trading Pat Connaughton, but I don't know who's your backup point guard if you get rid of Pat Connaughton. I mean, Gary Trent Jr. is cool, but I don't know if I'm going to trust him with running the offense. Ryan Rollins is decent, but he's young. He's only 22. Yeah, I don't know how. I mean, AJ Johnson. No disrespect. I don't know who that dude is, and I'm pretty sure he's a rookie. And who the hell chooses number 77? You're not Luca. We're gonna have to have a conversation about ugly ass jersey numbers one night. Yeah, he's a rookie. So I mean, all the ways that you can look at. I'll put this on the screen so you can see what I'm looking at. All the players that you could think of to get rid of to be able to go try to acquire some other talent. They don't make no money, and nobody would want them, or they can't afford to part with them. Like trading Dame would be the way to retool the team around Giannis, considering the financial issues they're going to have with having Chris Middleton and his rickety knees. Yeah, they're in trouble. They're in trouble. So this is like another test for them. So like going to the Cavs and the Bucks matchup, beat up on the teams that you can beat up on. So this is another team. This team is struggling. They didn't look particularly well against the Grizzlies the other night. Giannis had 40 plus points against the Celtics, and they lost by 9. They lost to the Nets. They lost to the Bulls. Oh man. They only beat the 76ers, and that was without Paul George and Joel Embiid. Yeah. You got to go beat them. A continuation of, for all the things they keep saying, that they want to be more consistent. They know that they have to do this for not just 3 quarters, not just for a half, not just for the second half, not just for the fourth quarter. You got to put together complete games. So this is going to be another game where, you got to put together a complete game. You got a quality opponent as far as the talent on the court. Giannis, Dame, Pat Connaughton, Brooke Lopez, what's his name? Portis, Bobby Portis. So they got guys who can play. They are not devoid of talent, but they are only like 5 to 6 deep. But this is a game where if you are who you are, you should win. This is a game you should completely win. They are 1.5 point underdogs. Yeah, they're getting 1.5 plus 110 on the money line according to ESPN Bet. Oh yeah, that clip was from Cavaliers on SI. Shout out to Spencer Davies. Every time we get around this late, I forget how to talk. But yeah, nah, you got to go win this game. You got to go win this game. There's no reason why you should not win. Granted, you are on the road. You played a decent amount of games on the road already, but the Bucks have not looked good. 4-game losing streak. Yeah. You got to win. You got to win. And Giannis is a game time decision. What's wrong with him? Let's go look. Let's see. Giannis is patella tendonitis. Oh yeah, you got to win this game. You got to go win. There's no reason why they should lose. You have to win. Well, I don't want to say it's a must win like that because I mean it's kind of hard to say at 6-0 in the 7th game of the season that it's a must win. But I think as a confidence builder, as a reinforcement to all the things that they believe and that they want to do, you go win this game. You go win this game. Clear and simple. You should have the advantage of being a little younger. Granted, they'll be a little rested because they didn't play tonight, and you're coming on a second night of a back-to-back. But I mean, of all the starters, Evan Mobley played the most minutes at 29:45. He played 29 minutes. Nobody else played more than 28. Donovan Mitchell played 22 minutes. 22 points in 22 minutes, 9 of 15. Caris LeVert played 22 minutes off the bench. Sam Merrill, 20 minutes. George Niang, 16. Isaac Okoro, 19. Ty Jerome, 20. Dean Wade had 24. Like, they should be fairly rested. They left out fairly on time because we didn't ask them. They didn't allow us to ask them a gajillion questions. So, yeah, go beat the Bucks tomorrow. You go beat the Bucks tomorrow, and it reaffirms everything, the record and what you've done these first 6 games to the league. You lose this game, it's kind of like, all right, well, they're good, but they still the same Cavs. They're still essentially the same team. We're not gonna be so concerned until they prove it. So I think this is a real, we ain't to be played with. We for real. We serious, and we gonna show y'all who and what we are. That's what I think this game is about. The Cavs showing and proving that the 6-0 start and the fact that they've been shooting the ball lights out. Like, I want to say at one point they were shooting like 65% the first quarter. The first quarter they shot 62% from the floor, 43 from 3-point land. I mean, they did get progressively worse. They ended the game at shooting 50% from the field, 39.5% from 3-point land. I mean, if you do that on a nightly basis, you're probably going to win most of your games. So, I mean, there's no reason why they shouldn't go and win this game. I'm really finding it a hard reasons of why. I mean, they're shooting 41% from the floor on the year, or excuse me, from the 3-point land on the year, 54% from the floor. They're averaging, how many points are they averaging in the game? They're averaging 125 points. In comparison, and we're going to get off on this point right here. In comparison, the Bucks are averaging 110 points a game. You average outscoring them by 14 points. There's no reason why you shouldn't win. None. You shoot 5% better, or excuse me, 10% better than them from 3-point land. You shoot better than them from the floor. Yeah, nah, man. The Cavs should win. This is a game they should win. I know the Bucks. I don't think the Bucks are scrub, as their record would indicate, at 1-4. But I mean, if you're 1-4, you are just who you are right now, and they're not very good right now. So I don't care that it's early. I don't care that they got health issues. We got health issues. We ain't at 100%. So this is definitely a game that to prove and to reinforce that these 6 games have not been a fluke. It ain't just by accident. It ain't just, luck. This is something that they worked on. This is the plan. This is the way that they are going to play, not just in November and October and November, but this is something that they plan to take throughout the whole season and ride into the playoffs. I disagree with a lot of people when they say NBA games don't matter in the regular season. These games in November and December don't matter. Nah, because this is where good teams build their habits. This is where you see players who have added things to their game and how they implement them and, things they've been setting up to do. So now you see they've been, working on something from the beginning of the year. Did they improve on it by the end of the year? Are they able to continue it in the playoffs? There's so many different things you can look for in the regular season that I don't see how anybody that loves basketball does not love all of it and the whole journey of it. So that's what we're gonna get off right now. They should. I'm calling it. I'm calling it. They are going to beat the Milwaukee Bucks tonight. They've been scoring lights out. Like the thing is they play good defense in the first quarter and they make all their shots, and then now you got to play catch up. And if they're going to shoot at the end of the game 50%, they ended up shooting 50% against the Orlando Magic. They ended up shooting 53% against the Lakers. The one thing that is panning out about this team is they can shoot the ball. They have versatility and how they can score. They got big men who can score in the paint. They got a big man who can score stretching out now to the 3-point line. And your guards, they're two, at least through 6 games, 2 of the most consistent players in the league right now. And outside of a bad year where he had injury concerns and off the court issues, Darius Garland is proven that he's an all-star perennial kind of guy. So Cavs should win this. I would say they probably gonna score 120 points again. There's no reason for me to believe that they don't. And the Bucks are having an issue scoring. Like Dame is only averaging 23. He's only averaging 23 points. It's not good. He's shooting 41 from the floor, but he's shooting 26 from 3-point land. There's no way the Bucks are going to be top 4 in the East if he doesn't get that average up. And granted, it could just be a slow start, but this is where, as the Cavs, you got to go and punish teams for getting off to a slow start. Them getting off to a slow start ain't got nothing to do with you. That's all on them. Not your concern. I don't care. That's how they got to go into this game. They do not care the fact that they are just on a slow start, missing one of their better players, and it just looks like a mess. Go in there, take care of business, come back, and improve to 7-0. So that's what I'm saying. I say Cavs win 110. Excuse me, no. I say 126. They scored 120 tonight. Bucks are kind of good though. Bucks are kind of good. All right, let's see. What's the money line? What the odds say? The over under is 231. So if the Cavs score, so yeah, they're slating them to score about 120, and the Bucks at about 110. All right, I say 123 to 115. At the end of the game, returns it to a free throw contest, and that's how it ends up under a double-digit point deficit. But Cavs win 123-115. That's going to do it all for this particular recap. We'll catch you on the next game that I'm covering. But you can catch me on Sunday, November 3rd on 92.3 The Fan. The Fan Tailgate Show. I'll be on 7 to 9 with Earl to Pearl. We'll hit you with the pick a side, where I hit him with 6 questions, and we pick a side on what we think will happen. So go ahead and check that out. Turn your notifications on, like, subscribe, and we'll catch you next time. Peace.